I will pass to Justine to talk a little bit about their experience, starting up a worker cooperative in the midst of, all of the, opportunities and challenges that the current moment offers.
Thanks, Matt. And hello, everyone. I'm really excited to get the floor and to have some time. I'm really also excited to see lots of familiar faces, which I think really just speaks to what a hustler Matt Kropp is. We've been in this just over a year, and the fact that I feel like I've been in contact with a good majority of the people on this call, like we're really getting connected to people who have their finger on the pulse of employee ownership in Vermont. And, it feels really good, and it feels great to be in community with you all right now. So thank you for making the space and the time. As Matt said, my name is Justine Lambright. I use they, them pronouns. I am the Director of External Business for Kalchē Wine Cooperative. My co-founders, Grace, Kathleen, and I had our first concept meeting with Matt on December 18th of 2020, wherein we strategized for about an hour on how to proposition to our then employer how to convert their company into employee ownership. We had originally seen the fundraising campaign for the Oak Street Co-op and realized that there had to be a cooperative way to get our business idea off the ground as well. And so, what started as this conversation, we ended up sort of falling out of talks with said former employer. And at that time we were like, Matt, what do we do? And he was like, you have an idea here, let's make a business plan. And so like for the next month, we sort of met up with him once a week, twice a week, we're sharing emails back and forth. And he really was like very close, giving us homework and, being our editor and our therapist throughout that whole process. And so right now, as I'm speaking to you all today, it has been 409 days. And I am now a co-owner of a worker cooperative winery. We have had a successful vintage under our belt. And we honestly would not have even known where to start if it weren't for the Employee Ownership Center or Matt. So just thank you from the get-go for all of that and for all of your help and support. We decided to start with worker ownership from the get-go because we had gotten pretty frustrated with said shared former employer over like a lack of communication. There was a lack of transparency, a lack of trust. And so we were looking to find a better professional formula, and one specifically that was worker rather than owner centered. And not just because of the idea or concept of ownership, which of course is cool. It's nice to, work for yourself, but mostly just for the day-to-day independence and the dignity that comes along with having ownership in the company that you work for. One of our main tenets of our policies is that, we want to lay the groundwork so that any employee owner can retire with dignity, which as a millennial seems like an extremely impossible task. I really don't know when or how I'll be able to pay off my student loans, have a home. And if everything keeps going the way that it's going, I'll be able to retire when I'm like 85. So it's good that, in this situation, we'll be able to form our financials and our goals, with everyone's financial futures in mind, and hopefully be able to change that pattern. Navigating the startup process and working with VEOC played out extremely easily for us. And, I'm not sure if we're the exception or the rule, but we, like Matt, as I was saying, he made himself continuously available. All of the resources that we shared and the connections that we, were put in contact with were always super relevant and enlightening. I know that in a lot of these sort of situations, you get a lot of duds when it comes with, the people that you're going to talk to, or, you get on the call with the person that just wants to talk about what they're doing and not necessarily, find solutions together, or, you know, it just doesn't necessarily make sense and this person felt beholden to you to give you a next step. So they gave you a next step, but nothing really comes from it. I felt like our time was really respected, and, you know, each thing led to a concrete return for us in terms of, you know, whether it be education or, you know, partnerships, or, you know, just meeting people that are doing the same thing and getting that, you know, like little inspirational jolt. Beyond that, Matt also put me in contact with Round Sky. So I was able to take one of their cooperative leadership certification courses. And not only that, but Vermont Employee Ownership Center had done a trade with Round Sky for like advertisement time. And Matt, you know, very kindly gifted me that class. So, you know, we were able to get that class, get ourselves in really good organizational shape, and like lay the groundwork and the foundation of, you know, like structure and processes, and that was completely invaluable. Beyond that, Matt is really good at following up, and he's really good at nudging you when you need nudging. So, you know, it was really great, you know, him just following up, being like, hey, it's about time for us to have another meeting, wink, wink, like, have you gotten that homework done that I gave you last time? So, you know, it was in a very loving way, in a very helpful way, you know, never micromanagey or anything like that. But we knew that it was in our best interest, and it really just felt like having a mentor there and someone in our corner to, you know, help us move forward. Matt also connected us with the Cooperative Fund of New England, which is where we ended up starting our funding process. However, another really amazing thing that happened is that, you know, the VEOC began talking with the Cooperative Fund of New England off of our original thread, and come to find out after the fact that VEOC and Cooperative Fund of New England went in half and half with our debt fund, like fundraise. So beyond, you know, all of the actual, like the intangible, like help and, you know, creation and the incubation space, half of the money that we're using this year for our operational funds has come from this organization as well. So there are just so many ways that the VEOC has helped us. And I honestly believe that, you know, we would not have been able to get a full company off the ground in just over a year and a month without y'all's help. So thank you so much. Matt, like I said, Matt's been our advisor and our professor, our mentor, editor, benefactor, cheerleader throughout the whole process. And we could not be more thankful. And, you know, for Kalchē's next step, we are hoping to scale up our production in Vermont with the long-term goal of bringing similar business models to wineries in other regions. So, you know, we'll be able to sort of hopefully like copy paste what we were able to accomplish to other folks that are interested. So yeah, that's what I have to say. I have a quick little video. It's about 3 minutes long. If we have the time, Matt, do you think we can? Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. I did troubleshoot this with my wife before this, so I hope that it works. Sorry.